So I got my LED lights, and my lights all work. Everything works. Side markers work. Brake light works. Reverse lights, I don't know. I don't think they do, because I've got that switch I've got to switch out. When I put the wires together at the switch, they light up. So I know the bulbs and the lights actually work. But I think my switch is bad, and I'm having a tough time getting that out, but I'll work on that another day. But I was having problems with the lights, and what it is it's these connectors. They're just so old. Everything is so corroded and everything. So what I've done is I have ordered new connectors. But my side markers lights work. My hazards work. I didn't try my turn signals. I guess I ought to try those. But the hazards work. I did put LED bulbs in the turn signal lights. And at least with the hazards, they weren't blinking real fast. But I don't know if that'll make a difference with the turn signals. My front lights work. These work. The front side markers work. I haven't tried... There's my front side markers. I haven't tried the fog lights yet. So I shouldn't say all my lights work. And then my pop-ups stopped working. And I'm like, man, they worked before. What the heck? And everything. And, and then I realized my relay's missing. I must have taken my relay out for I don't know what reason. But I've got to find my relay. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's up in my extra parts box or my old parts box. Because it worked before, so I know the relay wasn't bad, so I wouldn't have thrown it away. I don't remember why I took it out. God knows. I mean, it was almost 2 years ago, probably. But, yeah. So I got to get that relay in, and then I would assume the pop-up lights would work. The pop-up part. But I got a new bucket coming. Yeah. Maybe look at that. Isn't that a bitch? Huh? Somehow, that, even though it's at an angle, decided to fall and hit my bumper. Not happy. I mean, I wasn't anywhere near it. Nothing was near it. Nothing was moved. Nothing has been moved. So I don't know why all of a sudden it decided to go ahead and do that. But what are you going to do? So that is that part. And then, since I had done the dash, I did the headliner, I got the glove box, I got a nice leather boot for the shifter. I had these parts, and they cleaned up pretty good. They really did. But I've decided to cover those with leather as well. So I think I'm just going to go right over this. This is really, really thin leather. This is not, it's not even as thick as what I put on before. But I do have some cracks. So I think what I'll do is I'll try to remove this around those cracks and do the same thing that I did with the dashboard. I've got extra foam up there. I've got another can of foam. So I'm thinking I can fill in all my cracks and get rid of those. And then everything inside will be leather except for the seats. I am recovering the seats. I bought the kit from it's a 944 online, the kit that they have. So those are actually technically vinyl, but apparently they're very good, and it's they've got good directions on how to do it. So yeah, I think the next thing to work on is probably getting this dash in. Yeah, I watched that video from my dashboard removal. And yeah, this tube, there's no way for me to get it back up underneath those wires. So my guess is at the factory, that tube was put in first, then the wires were put in. Because there's no way that tube for that vent gets under those wires again. I mean, it was just completely crushed anyway, so... yep, we'll work on that then. We'll also work on the the wires and getting these redone. As you can see, see if I can show you this. This one, it's got a ground wire that's broken, right? But if you come over, there's nothing on the other side of it. There's nothing that connects to it. Really weird, huh? So, I don't know why that would be plugged in there if it doesn't have anything on the other end. Maybe somebody can help me with that. Why would there be an extra ground wire plugged into the pigtail if there is nothing on the other end? Don't know. Well, I found my relay. It was in the extra parts box, sitting right on top. So now, I have lights. Pop-up lights. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, everything works. And there you go. So I got to put regular bulbs back in. So we'll put a regular bulb back in and we'll see. There you go. Regular bulb. So I guess I can put load resistors in, but I think what I'll do is I'll just leave the regular bulbs for now instead of dealing with load resistor and all that stuff. So I had a feeling that was going to happen. I was kind of hopeful when the hazard lights weren't flashing real fast, but yep. All right, so everything works, but what I had done was I found this, I forgot, maybe on eBay or something. This was brand new, but it was like a VW one. And they look pretty much the same, except this one has an extra line here. It looks like, and this has something over on this side versus this one. But the backs are the same. So what I am curious, and so this was a brand new one. It looks a little better, but it's not much better. I am curious if that will work. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put this one in and see if this actually will work. Because I know all the lights work and everything. So we'll try to put this in and just see. Okay, so all my lights work with that stock in. The only other thing is my windshield wipers. I don't know if that motor actually works. I don't hear anything moving. So I'll put the other one back in. I never tried my wiper motor. My wiper motor might be bad too. I know there was continuity to it because I did check it. So I guess I can check to see if there's power going to it. And then I'll know. But yeah, it sounds like the wiper motor is probably bad on there. So we'll have to replace that. But the lights work. So I just tried it. I am getting 12 volts to it. So my motor's bad. So we will have to get that replaced. Bummer, 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 but oh well. I wanted to show you what I ended up doing for this vent. So there I am coming off the vent. It comes up and around, and it actually comes back behind here and then up through here, so it's not getting smashed. The only thing is it might rub on the steering wheel, but I've got it low enough that technically it's not touching right now, but I don't know if it'll stay that way. And it's up and out of the way of the pedals too. The problem I ran into was, in order to get that through there, I took that bolt off back there. Let's see if I can. That bolt right there. and then this bolt right here. So I could slide this down. But what ended up happening was, if you see that black rubber piece, it's kind of hard to focus. That black rubber piece there to the right of the bolt, and then that metal, that shifted up when I took that bolt out. And it was hard to push the DME back up and in. So what I ended up having to do was I took my jack and a piece of wood, and I jacked the DME back up into place real lightly. And then I had to take this pry bar, stick it down through here, I'll show you, and get it, see if it'll focus, and get it on top of that piece and push it down so the hole would line up, because that bolt goes into that metal piece in the back. That's where it bolts into. So that was not easy, and I fought that and fought that, but now I've got it in, coming out right where it would have come out anyway, which was right here, and it's not smashed. So I'm good to go with that. I'm gonna cut this. I think I can leave a little extra. And then this is the piece for over there that goes to that vent, and I'll have enough left over, so I'll have a new vent over there as well. So that worked out pretty good. There you have it. The dash is in. It's one part down. Still got to do the center console and everything, but the dash is in. Looks okay. It does. Well, the new 944, only 944 shifter is in, and everything shifts really nice. So we are good to go on that. I got the new inner boot, and I got a new shift boot for it as well. All right, so today's job is I'm gonna get this cleaned up and get ready. But today's big job is going to be getting the back hatch on. So I've got my brother here in from California again this week. He found 2 flights round trip from LAX on Spirit Airlines. 2 tickets round trip for $105. So he just came in for a few days because it was only $105 to do it. So, yeah, today's job is going to be getting the hatch on. But I want to get everything cleaned up from all the work yesterday. I was exhausted by the time everything ended yesterday. And want to just get everything kind of picked up and cleaned up, and maybe get the car vacuumed out because there's just junk all in it from doing my shifter. I'm happy that's in. That worked out pretty good. So I still have the short shift kit for back here that I have to do as well. I might try to do that when I get the car up, because I'm going to take the wheels off to go get tires on them, because I really don't want to drive very far on these. I mean, they're 20-year-old tires, and they're all, you can see they're all cracking and everything. So they still hold air. They've held air the whole time, but yeah, so that's what I'm going to try to do today, is get that hatch on. That's today's job. And if I get other things done, like maybe work on the lights, because I got my connectors in. So we'll go from there. Okay, so we're getting ready for the hatch. And one of the things that it had was, now these obviously aren't the hinges, this is the other part, but on the hinge side, on the outside, right here, there were little gaskets that were attached to the hinges. Mine were so brittle they just broke. So I looked, and they wanted like $8 or something each gasket. So I went and I bought just this cork gasket maker. for sealing oil, water, or gasoline. Now, I'm assuming those seals on the outside are because you got metal on metal and you need a seal to keep the water out. So I'm just going to cut some of my own out of this. I don't remember how much this was, but I don't think it was $8 for the whole roll. And just make my own gaskets. And then, you know how I love my Flex Seal. I've got little tubes of Flex Seal. And say if this was... Hang on a second. Alright, say if this was the hinge, and this is on the body, and this goes here, and then the body is where my thumb is, putting some Flex Seal around that edge as well. So I just need to measure those out, cut those out, and get the holes in there for them, and they should be good to go. There's the first gasket. So that worked pretty well. So I'll just do the second one. All right, both gaskets done. Took like maybe 3-4 minutes. Just used a blade to cut them. So those are ready to go. The next thing I'm going to be working on is the struts. So these are the connections for the rear wiper, or not the rear wiper, the rear defrost. So I need to take these off because they attach by metal, and this metal then attaches down here too. What's interesting is this was the passenger side, this was the driver's side. If you notice on this one, there's a thing that moves up and down. It moves up and down. Now I don't know why, and this one doesn't. I don't know why this doesn't have that, but it doesn't. So I'll just put it back on the passenger side, I guess. But yeah, it's kind of weird that this one doesn't slide up and down. So I'm assuming that these just twist off. Oh, see, they're different ones. That's why. See, they're different. So they must have replaced one strut at a certain time instead of replacing them both. And no wonder why it delaminated then, maybe. You got one strut that's brand new and one that isn't. That's going to cause that to get all crooked. Why you wouldn't replace both of them, I don't know. But I got to get these off from both ends because I have to reuse those because the new ones do not have them. So we will get working on that. Interesting. So these were not duplicates. I do not need to take these off. I had watched videos where they said you need to get these off. So these are the replacements, and they are the exact same thing as what was on the car. So they are different. It's just kind of weird that they would be like that. I wonder why. If anybody knows, let me know. But see, this one's got the sliding one. But see, this ball is metal. That's plastic. This is the same as that. I don't know, yeah, it's kind of weird. Oh, this I bet tightens down. That's what that is, because see, this isn't moving. So that's not supposed to move, I guess. Maybe that's supposed to be tightened down, because this one's real tight. So, but I can exchange the wires. I do need the wires. I don't know if there's any wires. I mean, I'm assuming there's wires for here that go to it as well, but they weren't on the car. Just the top ones were. So I don't know. We'll have to look on the hatch when I get it. But I would assume if there's things down here, there's supposed to be things that go on the car. So we'll take a look at that when we get the hatch up here. But that was easy because I didn't have to do anything. Next job is getting these suckers in there. Now, I've been told to just lube them up with WD-40 and just get them in there. They will go in. So we just have to have to get them in there. So they are marked left and right. There's L for left, R for right. So we'll try to get one in. We'll goop it all up and see what happens. I absolutely love it when people are right. That took all of 5 seconds to get in there. It slid right in. So I'm very, very happy with that. So now I just got to do the other one. All right, so they are both in. I will say this, the easiest way is to get the back in first. The big part of the back, and then work on the sides. But those are both in. So we should be good to go. I gotta wait for my brother to get over here. So I might start working on the lights and getting the new connectors. I got the new connectors last night that got delivered. So I think what I'll do is I will maybe work on those. Actually, my next job is going to be getting this inner sunroof seal on. I got to see if I can get it over this leather. I'm hoping that I can. Because that leather's a little thicker than what was there. Speaking of that seal, I'm wondering, I'm hoping somebody can help me. What is this called that goes around this piece right here? Can't seem to find it anywhere. If anybody can tell me, or if there's anything that I can use that isn't OEM, I really don't care. I mean, as long as it's black, heck, it could even be red if it worked. If you could, let me know, because I'm having a hard time finding out what that's called. I'm going to try this, see if the sunroof seal actually works, because it looks a lot like what I took off. But the stuff I took off was just so dry, it just broke. Anytime you touched it, it was just dried out. So we're going to try to get this on first, and then maybe we'll start tackling the lights. All right, so the inner sunroof seal is in. Was not easy. Because I didn't glue the leather all the way down. So what I found worked best was, out of this kit, there was this one. And I was able to go up along the edge and kind of pull that up and get the leather up underneath it. So it's in there and it's tight. It's not going anywhere. I wasn't real worried, especially around the sides, like in here. Let's see if I can show you. I don't know if you can see that or not. I can't see the camera. But up in here, not real worried because it mostly gets covered by those trim pieces. But the corners were really hard. So what I ended up doing was, for the corners, before I had the trim on, I grabbed the leather and I pulled it up so it would get in the corner. And that's how I was able to get the corners done. But it's in. So another job done. Well, success with the hatch. The hatch is in, all bolted up. Shuts real nice. Switch hands. There you go. So success on the hatch being put in. So now I just got to get these side moldings put back on. And that'll be done. I got to do something with this. This is for the wiper motor and I'm deleting it. So I'll have to figure out what to do with those, because I don't want to necessarily get rid of them. But I don't know what I can do with those. I'll have to figure that out. All right. Something else done. Hood is on. So, shocks are on. I've got to get new clips. I'm missing one, and the other one's kind of broken. So, I was able to put an E-clip on. But, yep. Starting to look like a car. Just a quick update. If you remember in my earlier videos, I was looking for the nuts that went on the back lights, and I thought they were the plastic ones with the round with the spin, but they weren't. So I didn't lose them. I didn't misplace them. I just didn't remember what they were. So they're just regular little nuts and washers, but I've already got the wing nuts on, so I'm good. All right, so just the last update here for this week. Got this fender on. Got the antenna in. So it's the next day. This took way too long. This was the last thing we did last night, and it took almost 2 hours. And the thing still is not perfectly straight, but it's as straight as I can get it. But the problem is I bought one of those Euro ones. Everything was fine until I went to attach the base of the antenna to the bracket. So there's a little bolt hole that you put the bolt through the bracket and attach it to the bottom of the antenna. Well, for some reason and somehow, when they formed it or they made it or they put it together or whatever it was, plastic got up in the hole and got into the threads. So of course I don't realize this until the wires and everything are already in and I go to mount it. So it was a pain in the ass. And that was one of the Euro ones. So I was not happy last night. So I just wanted to get done and finish it. So I wanted to give you guys an update. But hatch is in. Hood is in. Shocks are in. Starting to really look like a car. So I am not doing... So that's the one. That's the Euro one. Boo! Boo. I still have to get the trims on. Still have to work on the back lights. Still have to finish the rest of the dash. But I am not working today. It's game day. Football season starts today. So I am going up to my fan club to watch the game with the rest of this. So just like the car, I am a glutton for punishment being a football fan too. So we will see you guys all next week. So I did want to show you the fan club that I was coming to. So this is my Vikings fan club here in St. Louis. So this is where I like to come.